Welcome back, everybody, to the Creative Mindset channel. It's your guy, L Train. Today, we're going to talk about clothing brands. If you're interested in starting a clothing brand, this is the channel for you. I got 5 great reasons why you should do it. Reason number 1, creative expression. The reason you're watching this video and you're still on the fence about starting a clothing brand is because you have some creative bug in you that you want to get out. You want to express yourself in an artistic way, and you want to do it by building a brand. And it's a great idea. Because when you start a brand, it's a representation of what you believe in. It's what you feel. It's what you like. It's what you're interested in. And you're going to give it to the world. And starting a brand is not going to be easy. And everybody's not always going to get your vision and your dream. But it's a part of you. I'm an introvert by nature, right? So I'm a low-key, laid-back guy. But when it comes to my brand and what I believe in, I go all in with it. And you got to do the same thing too. You got to get out of your comfort zone. So if you're sitting on a fence about starting a clothing brand, don't do it anymore. This is the video that's going to convince you to do it. Start your brand, get ready, lock in, get busy. Let's go. Second reason, community. When you decide to become an entrepreneur, you decide to do this as a side hustle and scale your way up, there's going to be a community of people who are in the same boat that you're in. They've been working on a business, they've been building a brand, and you can meet them online. You can see them on social media. You're going to have to join this community. So welcome. There's a saying that when I always think about welcoming people is Frank White in this movie King of New York. It's a gangster flick, and he says you're all welcome. You're all welcome. So if you're trying to start a brand, you are all welcome. Let's go. The other part of the community is building your own community. When you start a brand, you're going to want to build your own culture. You're going to want to have your own tribe. You want to have your own way of doing things, and people who have the same similar ideals as you are going to want to gravitate to your brand. So you're going to want to join a community, get comfortable in that community, and then have a spinoff for your community. I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, you are a cheer mom or cheer dad, and your kid's in competitive cheerleading. So they got these cheerleading events, got these cheerleading competitions, got these cheerleading conventions that you're going to, and you're a parent, you spend all this money, and you're driving in cars, you're staying in hotels, so your child can go to these cheerleading events. You're going to meet other people and other families who might be in the cheer. So this is an idea that you could start a brand off of. You can make the brand for the cheer moms. You can make the brand for the cheer dads, and you can make the brand for the kids. So when you're at these events, and you're at these hotels, and you're at these games, and you're at these tournaments, you can meet people and build a community. So every time they see you, oh, that's a cool shirt, that's a cool hoodie, right? You tell them, hey, I got a brand, I got a business. And then now that community that was already built, the cheer community, now you have a spinoff. So now you can meet families, you can meet friends, and you can build a brand around that. That's just an example, okay? Next, third reason you should start a clothing brand. I call this the Dame Dash effect. It's the hustle for your last name. If you don't know what this is about, there is a gentleman named Dame Dash, and he had a clothing brand called Rockaware, him and Jay-Z and another business partner back in the 90s, early 2000s. And what they did is they had a record label called Rockefeller Records, and they had a clothing brand called Rockaware. And he went on an interview years ago, and he was talking about being an entrepreneur, and he was talking about hustling for your last name, building something that you can have equity in. So 10 years from now, the brand that you have, you can pass down to a family member, or you can pass down to a friend, or you can sell it to someone else, but you're hustling for your last name. There's nothing wrong with having a job. There's nothing wrong with having a full-time job, part-time job. I have a full-time job, and I'm building a brand, and I have e-commerce hustles. So I do a little bit of everything. So there's nothing wrong with that. But at some point, that job can always lay you off. They can have cuts. That company can get bought up by somebody else, and they start changing the culture up. So you build your own thing, you build your own brand. It gives you the opportunity to hustle for your last name. You can give it to somebody else. You can pass it to generation to generation. I'll give you an example. In every big city, and even any small town, I kind of grew up in the burbs, so it wasn't super fancy rich, and it wasn't really poor. But there was always a couple of family-run restaurants. And the restaurants have been around for like 60, 70 years. And you're just like, oh, that's so great. 67 years. How does a business run for 60, 70 years? Well, what ends up happening is the grandparents started the business when they were looking for an opportunity. So they opened up let's just say it's an Italian restaurant. So they open up an Italian restaurant, and then when the kids start to get a certain age, what do? They put them to work. They make them clean. They make them work the tables, and make them run the cash register. They teach them about the family business, and the kids grow up, and they probably don't always like working in the family business. Some people do, some people don't. But as they get older, it becomes like a family tradition. When their kids grow up, what do? They put them right back to work. Hey, I had to wash tables. I had to do dishes. I had to take up trash at dad's restaurant. Now you got to do it too. And then next thing you know, it's a fourth generation restaurant. They're still using the same recipes. Obviously, times have changed. We got social media, but it's the same business ran by the same family. You can do that too with your brand. You can control it. 30 years from now, your niece or your nephew, your grandson could be running that business, turn it into a multi-billion-dollar business. You never know. Anything is possible. So that's why it's important for you to hustle for your last name, all right? Reason number 4, you should start a clothing brand. Passion and purpose. There's 2 things, passion and purpose. I think that if you're going to start a brand, you got to do something you're passionate about, because there's going to be weeks and months when the business is slow and low. Sales are going to be slow and low. I talk about this all the time. There are times in a year where things are going great. You're getting sales, you're getting engagement, everything's going well. And then times when it is not, and it is going by really, really slow. So you're going to have to understand that you're going to have ups and downs and peaks and valleys. So you got to be passionate about what you do. You got to believe in this brand. You got to believe in your business. You got to believe in your strategy, because everything's not always going to work. And most brands take about 5 years to grow. I know there's a lot of YouTube gurus and business gurus will tell you, oh, it takes 1 year, 6 months, 30 days to make $10,000 a month. So it is possible. It can be done. Some people have done it, but generally speaking, it takes years to build a brand, because brands take recognition, and you need social proof, and you need trust in the customers. So it's going to take a few years. So be passionate about this brand thing you're going to go into, all right? And purpose. Now, what does purpose have to do with the clothing brand? I'm going to tell you what it has to do. People will always ask you, what's the purpose of life? And most people don't know the answer, but I have an answer. The purpose is to help others. That is your main purpose. It doesn't matter if you're rich, you're poor, you're black, you're white, you're religious, you're non-religious. It doesn't matter about where you come from. Your goal in life before you leave this earth is to help other people to the best of your abilities. So starting a brand shouldn't just be about making a bunch of money so you can flash on the internet or brag to other people what you can buy and what you can get. Your brand should be about helping people. The brand I have is a mental health brand. It's called Kreative Citizen. And right now it's Mental Health Awareness Month. So I got one of the shirts in my drops right now. It says, keep going, never give up. That's some of the mentality that I have. Keep going, never give up. The brand, the people come together and you help each other out. That's how it goes. They spend money on your brand, you invest, and you do it again. Whether it's donating money to a charity, whether it's helping out in a church, or whoever you're affiliated with, use your brand to do something good. That is the purpose of life. That is the purpose of business, in my opinion. Now, if you want to spend your money on cars and jewelry and all that stuff, I'm not hating on you. Do what you want to do with your dollars. I ain't mad at you. But I'm trying to do something special, and I'm trying to help other people along the way, and I think you should too. And the last reason, the 5th reason why you should start a clothing brand, is endless opportunities. When you're starting out and you're grinding in this business, whether you're selling t-shirts, purses, high heel shoes, fitted caps, whatever you're selling, along this journey, you never know who's watching. You never know who's been following you, who's been paying attention to your moves, who's been silently supporting you. Because one day another brand, a bigger brand, will come along and say, hey, we like what you got going on. Let's do a collab. So let's say, for example, you decided to go with a fitness brand and you're selling shirts, right? You got some shirts, you think are pretty cool, got a logo, and you sell some fitness t-shirts. And along comes this company who's been around for years, and they go, hey, we sell these socks that are really great for people who like to run and work out. We should do a collab. You didn't even know this company existed. You weren't even paying attention to them. And now that is an opportunity for you to do business and network with another brand. Or another brand might come and say, hey, we're into powerlifting and lifting weights. We got these cool gloves. We think we should do a collab. You got some cool t-shirts. We got some cool gloves. What do you think? It opens up an opportunity. You never know. And I also believe that locally, you starting a brand can open up doors. It could give confidence to somebody else who may not necessarily want to be starting a clothing brand, but they want to start a business as well. So now your entrepreneurial endeavors will give confidence to somebody else, maybe a family member who's like, man, I always wanted to do this business, I always want to do that business, and they see you rocking, they see you popping. It just opens up a lot of doors. It can really help you out and help the community and help the people around you, your loved ones, your friends, and your family. So that is a reason for you to start a clothing brand. It's going to open doors. You got endless opportunities. I know sometimes people say it's not that easy to become successful, and there's some truth to that. But if you have the right mindset, you keep going, you never give up, right? You can do it. You can make it happen. So stop watching all these videos about starting a clothing brand and not doing it anymore. This is the time. This is the video that's going to get you to get hype and get ready and get busy. So let's go. Start your brand. Drop the merch. Drop the products. Drop the service. Stop wasting time. Go get it, man. It's the message for today. It's your guy L Train. Peace. We out.